Jessica Sawyer. I teach English and theater at Washington Township High School.
Do you currently use social media in the classroom? And if so, what is it you use or have used?
I actually use it outside of the classroom. I use Twitter and Facebook to communicate with my students. And I'm dabbling in Tumblr.
How often would you say you use these tools?
Every day. I use Facebook and Twitter to update, tests coming up, homework assignments, that kind of thing. I have an e-board and things like that, but students don't check that. They check Facebook and they check Twitter, so I found that it works best to kind of get them where they live.
How time-consuming is it for you?
It takes 2 seconds. I have the apps on my phone. And I also use the Hootsuite app, so it updates all of my social media accounts at once. I don't even have to go back and forth between them.
Does it save you time, or have you found it in the long run that it saves time?
It saves aggravation from having to hear that they didn't know when the test was, or they didn't remember, they didn't write it down. I think, I wouldn't say that it saves time, but it doesn't really take up a lot of time, and it helps, keep my students on track.
Has it enabled you to connect more easily and effectively with your students rather than through traditional means?
Yeah, particularly with my theater students. I've been really lucky. I've had kids the last few years who don't really know anything about theater but are really into learning about it. So I follow all different kinds of, theaters, arts organizations, arts publications on Twitter. And I'll retweet articles and my students actually read them, and then we can talk about them in class. They also have to do a theater current event every week. And they have to use, it's like the New York Times Arts and Culture blog, Broadway.com. They have a few different sources they're allowed to use, or they can use anything that I tweet or post on my Facebook. So it's helped to connect in that way. And also in terms of communication, if a student is absent or has a question or something like that, they send me direct messages on Twitter. And I get it, rather than having to check my email. And, it can't be that long. It can only be 140 characters, so they have to get right to the point. But I'm able to answer quick questions for them and, concerns, things like that.
Do you find it policy prohibitive?
No. Everyone in my school is really all about social media. My principal has a Twitter account. And actually challenged a bunch of teachers to the Ice Bucket Challenge via Twitter over the summer. Everyone in my school uses it. Guidance has one. All of the, most of the teachers, all of the clubs and things have Twitter accounts, so we don't really have any policy against it.
Would you say it has been effective using social media to teach?
I don't really use it to teach other than tweeting the articles for the current events, and in that case, yes, I would say that it's effective. The kids actually read it, rather than if I posted things on my e-board or something like that that they don't look at when they're idly scrolling their Twitter accounts the way that they do. They see things that are relevant to my class.
Are there any other tools you are hoping to try in the future?
Yeah, I'm playing around with Tumblr. I don't really get Tumblr. I know it's like a blogging tool, but my students like it and they use it. It's another thing that they check. So for my theater students, I started a Tumblr and I've just been playing around with I haven't really posted anything on the blog myself yet, but you can reblog, which is similar to retweeting. So I've reblogged a few theater things, and it's a lot of pictures, which are cool. I follow a Tumblr that's all vintage theater photos, which is kind of neat for them to see. And you can also have videos and things, so it just, you can share different kinds of media than you can with Twitter. So I'm not that into it yet, but I'm playing around with it.